Thank you, Deputy President. I rise in support of Mr Davis's motion. The Premier has twice now been given the right to be examined in private hearings before IBAC. We do not know whether he is under investigation or whether he is there in a witness capacity because he refuses to answer basic questions from concerned Victorians. What we do know is that he has been given special treatment, and there is a real question around why he has been questioned privately when so many other hearings are in the public domain. When we look to what is right, New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian stood down immediately after the New South Wales State Anti-Corruption Watchdog, ICAC, revealed she was under investigation. This was in the height of the pandemic when the role of the Premier was integral. Because the Australian public deserves to have confidence in their leaders, she walked away from all official responsibilities. Like our neighbours in New South Wales, Victorians also deserve to have confidence in their leaders. And from the general public I have spoken to, there simply is not confidence in Andrew's leadership. We have seen with the Operation Sandon there have been numerous public hearings, but the Premier has had the right to speak in private. His contempt towards the general democratic processes is quite frankly outrageous, and in that he refuses to let Victorians know why he presented to IBAC, or even when that occurred. He and his government are determined to block any questions, which led, of course, to the shameful situation on Monday this week. I was perplexed at Ms Shing cutting the feed during the Integrity and Oversight Committee hearings. Democracy thrives when people can see, understand and participate in decisions that affect their lives. It is about leaders acting with integrity and being accountable for their actions. When we start closing doors and cutting feeds, there is a real problem and misunderstanding of transparent government. The burning question is, what are they hiding? This was Victoria's first opportunity to gain some clarity into these matters, and the government's response was to cut the public feed. I think that says all we need to know about the Andrews Labor government position on transparency. There is none. This is just sheer arrogance from the Andrews Labor government and a completely shameful disregard of principles of open, accountable and transparent government. Victorians are completely shocked at how this government have been able to do the things they are doing. Lockdowns, mandates, not releasing information for which they have based their decisions on, removal of our personal freedoms and liberties, and they just keep on doing it. The best thing the Premier can do is stand aside from all responsibilities until IBAC table their report in Parliament. As the Premier of our state, he is the one making decisions that affect the lives of every Victorian. Victorians deserve confidence in their leaders. At the very least, they deserve answers from the person who is making decisions impacting their lives. But what they get is feeds being cut and an arrogant refusal to answer questions in the public interest. We cannot have confidence in the Premier when he refuses to come clean about what he is attending IBAC for. I commend this motion, calling on the Premier to stand aside.